2 days from the NFL draft in Green Bay. Excited to see what the Packers have in store. We are keeping it rolling with prospects. We have Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe on the show. Him on his relationship with Super Bowl champion Jalen Hurts. Him on his hand size, 10 inches. Wow. Him on his visit with the Giants, him on Malik Neighbors recruiting him, campaigning for Dable and the brass there in New York to grab him. Lots to talk about. Can he beat Lamar Jackson in a race? We'll get into it all. And UCLA linebacker. Let me tell you, this kid has one of the best stories. Down the road here in LA, going to Fat Sal's on UCLA's campus, a Bruin, a walk-on. Who just did his thing and is going to be a run stopper in the NFL. Carson Schwesinger. Schwesinger. I had it right before. Schwesinger. Carson Schwesinger. I got it right. You're going to have to get it right because he's going to be stopping the likes of Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley on the Ravens, on the Commanders potentially. You'll want to get to know him right now. Show's going on the road to Green Bay for the NFL draft. We have a couple guests planned for you, a couple fun shows planned for you out there. I hope there's some trades. I hope we have teams trading into the first round, Browns, Giants, maybe the Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders thing. I'd like to see that continue. So if that happens, I'd be happy. Maybe the Broncos hop into the first round. Wouldn't that be something? And grab that missing piece, the running back that they need for their future. Before we get to Green Bay. And by the way, I'll probably you should just follow the show handle at Up and Adam Show. I'll probably at some point send out a tweet and say, I'm here at this bar. Let's have a beer together. Let's have a cheese curd together. I probably won't eat cheese curds because I'm not eating dairy right now. But if we're being totally honest, I'll probably do that. So you should follow the show handle. Maybe we'll do a little impromptu meet and greet out there in the cheesehead land of Green Bay. I get to see my nephews. They live there nearby Appleton. I'm trying to get them over, mosey them on over to the draft festivities as well. I might be, interviewing some of these guys backstage even. There's a lot of things going on. So there are some things going on, of course, in the NFL. Okay, this is breaking news. Not exactly a shock, though. Ian's reporting that the Titans have made their decision. They're going to keep the number 1 overall pick. He's reporting they're going to select Mr. Cam Ward. Not surprising. We've expected it for months now. But we do want to talk about Cam Ward a little bit, as he is the first overall pick. And as all first overall picks go, they just go under the radar. They aren't talked about, especially when it is a lock. And that plays into it. There hasn't been drama with that pick, and there certainly isn't now after this Ian report. So we kind of gloss over it. It's a set it and forget it Ronco grill of the draft picks. But he's been minus 20,000 to go off the board first for over a month. That's a lack of drama, but he's an exciting player, okay? And his journey to getting to this point is a movie. 0-star recruit, zero out of Columbia High School in Texas to the FCS freshman of the year at Incarnate Word, okay? He gets his major, huge college chance at Washington State. All Pac-12 player there, decides to play one more year, transfers to Miami, and then he becomes college's all-time leader in touchdown passes. He's first-team All-American. He wins every freaking quarterback award under the sun, and now he's set to go number 1 overall. So you can't, to script Hamilton, if I may, the sort of boredom that, this is the kind of boredom you can't pay for. All of these draft picks would love, Matthew, this sort of boredom. We're bored. It's boring. But he doesn't have to sweat it out at all. And that's why it's so special and everyone's jealous of him.
Yeah, and he just truly gets to enjoy the moment. And you have to love that for him. And it is wild to think about too. Yeah, before the college football season started, he was plus 2,000 to go number 1 overall. He wasn't even really on the radar, and worked his way up into this point now where he is a lock for that number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, and he does it all. He's like a complete player. He can pick you apart from the pocket. He can run. He can extend plays. And Titans fans, how happy are we for them, Matthew? for just embrace this moment. Like the most famous, draft stuff with the Titans isn't, like what is it? You're walking down, I can't think of the street. Is it Broadway?
Broadway, yeah.
Walking down Broadway and having your amazing Soch team like pick out logos with the draft and picks and schedule release stuff. Like when I think of like that wasn't even draft, that was schedule release, I think. But like, what is the lore? Like the Titans lore. There's some good, there's some bad, but this is like, okay, this is it now. We can wrap our, our hands around this, and we can sit there bored AF, knowing what's going to happen, and be excited about it. Like that's how rich people live. Don't you understand? Like the boring life of not having to like put yourself out there and like do workouts, and like because they knew they were going to take him. Like Shedeur Sanders canceled his workout with him. Like that's how sure they are of you. That is like unconditional love vibes over there. He's got to work on his golf game, says his GM, of course. But I hope that they're pumped because they haven't drafted a franchise quarterback since the late Steve McNair. And they have their guy in Cam Ward. So enjoy it, and we love it. You were also showing me really quick, I don't think we have him, but to sort of quickly Hamilton not miss the Shedeur thing. That was wild. So they've been the favorite to go to the Saints for maybe over a month, like for weeks and weeks. And not only are they not the favorite, they've really slipped. What is that?
Yeah, you got to think part of it is, like Mel Kiper was saying yesterday, it's hard to imagine the Steelers not walking out of this draft with a quarterback. They've become the favorite. And I think it has a lot to do with that. Do we see them get more aggressive as Aaron Rodgers still hasn't made a decision? And also, like we were kind of talking about yesterday, I think the Saints' interest in maybe trading up in the second round to get to the back end of the first is signaling to people that maybe they're not in love with Shedeur to take him enough to take him 9th overall. So I think those two factors combined has now led to the Steelers taking over that top spot.
We'll see what happens. Of course, I can't believe it's 2 days from now. I get to see you tomorrow in Green Bay. You're going to fly from New York. I'll fly from LA. We'll meet in the middle of the country. Ashton Jeanty, friend of the show, his potential landing spot's gotten a little interesting over the past few days. Go to FanDuel Sportsbook, check these things out. It's a great way to sort of see what is shifting and where the headlines are going, which ones to believe, which ones to not. I sort of like this compass that we have at FanDuel Sportsbook. No secret, the Raiders, the favorites to land him at 6. He's talked about it too. That's plus 105. The Jags somehow gaining serious ground with these rumors of Jeanty to Jacksonville. They're a close second to land him at plus 190. That's ahead of the Bears, the Patriots, and the Broncos. The more I think about it, man, this isn't for the plot. Are you kidding? I love this. I'd love to see this for Jacksonville. We have all heard Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen this offseason talk about balance, talk about helping Trevor out, talking about the run game, all of that. What better way to do that than with Ashton Jeanty? His skills as a receiver, he talked to us about that. I asked him if he was having an identity crisis because he can run routes, he can catch. He told me his favorite comp that he gets is Alvin Kamara, and I buy that because he is a game changer, versatile on all levels for an offense. Now, I know the Jags, they can use help elsewhere. There are other needs, and there's this like weird still stigma about taking a running back and all of that. But you can't tell me it's not sexy. You can't tell me Trevor and Brian Thomas and Jeanty together is not amazing. It's almost too intriguing to pass up. And if you're Liam Cohen, that dog Liam Cohen, let's go. And let's see if, I don't know much about the new GM. Does, Hammy, you're the Jags insider here. Does James Gladstone have the stones to do this?
We'll see. I mean, he comes from that Rams school, from the Les Snead school of things. Yeah. So we'll see how much of that, we know that regime isn't concerned about outside opinions. And if they think he's a player that can push them over the top, I think regardless of position, I think we see him take a swing here. And you're right. It's too intriguing to pass up. If you really want to help your quarterback and you want to balance this offense, like they're saying, like we're hearing from everyone in that organization, this is how you do it.
And Trevor is just like, yes, please. Like he's a man of faith. He's, Easter times, like he is just like, let's go, big man upstairs, men upstairs, whoever, like, let's make this happen. Get me Ashton Jeanty. Also, and you can maybe speak to this a little bit, just from a fan perspective, like that, they need to bring in a star. And I think that
Yeah.
that matters. And I think that that is when you are like, I don't know if we should do this. Let's do it because we're bringing some excitement and a piece that can do it all on the field. Lead to wins, right? That's not the reason to draft someone, but it is important,
Yeah.
especially with a fan base like Jacksonville.
Absolutely. And especially after the way the last couple of years have gone. And like you said, you don't want that to be the driving force, but if it's close between guys and you can get somebody who is going to generate that level of excitement, I think it has to tip the scales. And it's hard to find anybody who's going to generate more excitement than Jeanty.
So do you wake up in the morning? Cause I woke up to a text. I wake up at like 4. And I'll wake up to a text from East Coast Hammy and it'll just be something football-y, right? So do you wake up like your Saratoga Springs morning, you just check the sports book like people check the weather? Like, is that kind of what it is?
Yeah, that's how it's been going lately. Because everything's been shifting and moving, and the perceptions have been changing so much. I wake up because I try to get the show. We try to get the show set as much as we can the night before, but there's always so much changing in the morning now. That's always my first stop when I wake up.
I know you're just like Shadur, this. I'm like, man, I haven't even like, what are we talking about here? Excellent job on that, though. I think that's an interesting, definitely place to go. Why have you not done a hammer time on any of these guys?
Well, we got to work out the footage issues. That's what we gotta figure out.
Who we have to talk to?
Yeah,
that's fine. Like who's the college football Godelli guy that we have to like shake up the tree?
That's a good question. We got to figure that out. With all this NIL stuff going on and all that, we should be able to figure this out.
I feel like Taylor Lewan will know that. I feel like when I think college, I just think about him and Will Compton. We'll be back after this. Jalen Milroe. Footage, huh?
Yeah.
What a bummer.
Yeah, we should. I remember it was always like a nebulous world to like get that footage because they're always different. They're all on different networks and they're all different like footage providers. Not to dive too deep into that, but yeah.
Oh. Which is like, yeah, no, we're going to break.
Yeah. We got to go. All I've been thinking of Cheesecake Heaven. We got to get back to Cheesecake Heaven when we get out
here's
there.
the thing. So and we love everyone. And give us your Green Bay recommendations, by the way, everybody out there, where we should go in Green Bay. Are you Appleton? Or are you Green Bay?
Flying into Appleton.
You're just staying in Green Bay? Okay.
They're staying in Green Bay, yeah.
Okay, got it. You're flying into Appleton?
Yeah.
Cute. It's like my favorite airport. I love the Appleton airport. I love that you're flying into the Appleton airport. Wait, how funny is it? It's Mel Kiper's first trip to Green Bay.
I know. It's hard to imagine.
But it is kind of hallowed. Like you have to have a reason to go there and you're going there for football.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we need recommendations. I feel like I really truly have not. Appleton, I know, Fox Valley, I know all that, but I don't, Green Bay, I don't know many places. We were so starving in the middle of our training camp tour last year that our flights got canceled. We were in Charlotte, I believe. We get to Green Bay. It was like very herky jerky. And we finally ate I think it was, so here, basically Cheesecake Heaven is either like the best restaurant of all time, or we would have eaten each other. Like we would have bit our hands off like the hyenas in The Lion King had we not eaten real food. And we hadn't had anything that wasn't from a gas station in like 2 weeks. Which one is it? I don't know. We'll have to go.
I'm leaning more towards the best place on earth. It was legitimately that good. The best sandwich I ever had.
I don't know if that's true because like we just had. It can't be like it really can't be true. But they were so nice, and like there was like the salads were green, and like it was almost like I looked in 3D or something because we were eating like Nutri-Grain bars or like the Nature Valley ones that crumble everywhere. Like that's what we were eating for 2 weeks.
That and Celsius.
Great question. It's a great question. We got to go back there, and I think it's right by the stadium. It
is. It's right there.
Cheesecake Heaven.
We got to do it.
Did you hear me say I want to do like a meetup? I just want to see. I want to hang out at the Green Bay, the real ones in Green Bay. All right. Okay.
Maybe we can do it.
Back on Up and Adam's big show. I got to sit down with another quarterback in this draft. We are bringing you the goods here at FanDuel TV with FanDuel on Up and Adam's. Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe was just in East Rutherford, just with Dable, going through the mental pop quiz. He won me over. He has a lot of charisma. He's very thoughtful, and I loved talking to him. Jalen, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I'm excited for you to be welcomed into the NFL. Your career is so impressive. You are an impressive young man. 3 seasons. You're one of just 2 quarterbacks to have 40 passing touchdowns and 30 rushing touchdowns. What is the one thing about playing the quarterback position that you take the most pride in personally?
I think it's the preparation. I think that's so key. Your confidence grows out the roof as you prepare. And so I just look at it as far as the preparation it took, the details that it took, and also acknowledging, what's all involved with the process. I'm very consistent when it comes to how I prepare. I have a schedule, what I put all into it. Each day is dedicated to different things when it comes to preparational phase. And so I'm just really, diligent to what I look at and what I do as far as my body and how I prepare. And so it's misinterpreted for sure, especially because you look, I played on Saturdays, so you just see the physical aspect of, the performance, but not all involved with what goes on during the week. And so I think, it's the habits and the preparational phases that I use during college. I'm going to use in the NFL and also use, different helpful habits and stuff like that with veterans and coaches as well. So I think that's something, that hasn't been seen, but that's how I've been able to constantly just continue to grow. It's different from having a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. It's all about the people that surround you. Okay. And so you learn. And so that's what I say.
There might be some interesting people surrounding you if you go to the Giants. I know that you had a private workout with them last week. How would you grade yourself on the mental pop quiz that I'm sure Coach Dable threw at you?
Yeah, for sure. They definitely want to tell you, understand your intelligence, how much you love football. And I told them, I said, look, when you evaluate this process, you got to evaluate someone that loves football, because they're going to break. I told them that straight up, verbatim. And They said, they all smiled, looked at each other, said, "You're right." I said, "I know." So, but their process is for sure, the intelligence piece, you got to prepare, you got to understand their system inside and out. You got to be able to know everyone's responsibility. Because ideally, like when you get in a huddle, you have to take full command of your operation. You got to build the trust. You got to run the show. Ideally, the coach is not out there. So the stuff that you take from the meeting room, everything as a whole, when you're not around the coaches, you take command of the huddle. And so it's just the reinforcement when you're having these meetings that you know what you're talking about, which how to operate. And then, of course, you're trying to see how you view football and how they can coach you. So, this preparational phase of draft prep, I think it's just, their evaluation of seeing how I can coach you. And so,
how do you evaluate how you did with the Giants? Pretty well. Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I am.
I mean, I bet you Malik Neighbors, who you're friendly with, went against him a bunch too, but I bet he's pushing the Giants front office to draft you.
Yeah.
You know he is.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Might be true.
It might be true. I know. I just figured, I'm like, the way you two talk about each other, you really respect his game. Has he said great? What has he sold you on with New York?
Look, the thing about his game is very unique. He comes into the league with so many great skills, unique skill set, the competitiveness edge.
Yeah.
All those things that he has at the receiver position, I like at quarterback. And then we're both competitive. And so that competitive spirit from coming from LSU to Alabama on one roster is going to push, everyone on the team.
Yeah.
And so, it's definitely, if, I could choose, I'd love to play with them. But, and then also we have a relationship. So it'll be cool. Just to come in the locker room, we have a relationship with a guy.
Wait, stop. I can't imagine you and Jameis and Russell in the quarterback room.
Hey, look, that would be the funniest room in the NFL. Like, hands down, that would be the best room.
Who would give a better speech, you or Jameis? Russell's been there, done that, but like Jameis gives iconic energy. Can you match that, surpass that?
Look, you got to respect those that paved the way, so I can let him run the show. And so I give, when he speaks, I'm going to echo what he's saying. So when it's time, and then it's when it's time for me to be heard. But till then, I'm gonna reinforce, what boss man got to say, and the other old heads in the room.
I love that. You're friends with some old heads in the room. I mean, I don't know that I'd call Bryce Young an old head, but Jalen Hurts, a now Super Bowl champion. There's a lot of comps to be made. People, there's a lot of similarities, I think, on the paths. This is a Super Bowl champion. What have you gotten out of your conversations with Jalen?
Yeah. First off, everybody's story is different. What's for you is for you. And no one can take that away. No matter who we are, who you try to compare, their journey is your journey. And so we embark our journey differently, but it's the process to allowing someone to be from good to great. And it's the phases that people miss. We loosely say someone is great and the GOAT status, we loosely say that, but we don't understand what involved with that process. And so for a player to be great, they have to maximize their mental toughness. They got to maximize how well they gel with other guys on their team. They got to uplift people. There's two ways to leadership: lifter and a puller. And you got to have that with playing a quarterback position. And it's heavy to the one that wears the crown. And that's definitely something that you have playing quarterback. And if you look at, him, he's always even killed. Like nothing breaks him, despite what anybody got to say. It's always the same Jalen Hurts, and, I appreciate him, just the relationship, and him always, being, a supporter of mine. That's always big. I'm big on my circle. And so he's a part of my circle. So, I appreciate it.
I love that. I love hearing that. You started a brand, by the way. You're an entrepreneur as well called, I think is it called Lank?
Yeah, Lank.
Lank. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I need that. I'm going to need to rock that. It's you and like my favorite guy from last year, Terrion Arnold. It's let all naysayers know. I really we're talking about Jalen being, even keeled, unbothered, but what do you want to let naysayers know about this idea, this label that I think you unfairly get that you are some sort of a project?
Look, at the end of the day, it's not about proving anybody wrong. It's more about proving myself right. Ideally when going through this process. Like, if you're not having people think or having people have opinions, you're not doing it right. I play a game where it's viewed as entertainment. It's a unique job that I have. I can't just go on a corporate job and tweet, how I feel about them doing a corporate job. I can't do that. My job is something that's watched. So of course opinions come, and it's fair to have any opinion that they want to have. So that's number one. I understand it. Like, it's entertainment that you're watching. And it comes with playing sports. If you don't like it, don't play the sport. I
want to hear you say, I'm a starting quarterback.
Look, I got to earn that, but, at some point it will. At 1,000%, I'm a pop it.
When are you going to be honest with me about this whole hand size thing? What happened? Like, is it after you're drafted? Like, when are we going to get to the bottom of that riddle?
Look, despite if it was 6'9", it don't matter. I can throw the ball like regardless. Like, this hand size thing, it don't matter. Like, but like, all of it was wrong. Like, I get to the combine and like, I measure my hand, and everybody. So I did my first measurement. It's really it labeled at a 10 initially.
Oh.
So dude, so the guy that was measuring my hand looked at me, looked back at him, and he pulled his partner to him, started measuring his hand. So I did it again. It was 10 again. So then he's like, no, something wrong. So I had to lean on the thing, and he's pulling my fingers, so like that. And they still they're measuring it at an accurate. It's 9 or whatever. And so of course it's definitely way higher than what it was when it first came out there.
People love talking about the little centimeters and little conversations. I hear you going to the draft. Who's coming with?
So I got my immediate family, older brother, sister, parents.
Okay.
And then I got two of my best friends, and then my cousin is joining me.
So everybody's coming to Green Bay?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been to Green Bay, Wisconsin?
Nah, I ain't never been there.
Okay, well, we're going to make memories there. I'm loving this. Are you done with all of your visits? Everything done?
Yes.
You're done, and you're feeling good. Do you know where you're going? Don't tell me where, but do you kind of know?
Nah, I
have no idea.
I can't tell you. No, I can't tell you.
I'm not saying that, but do you know? Do you in your head, you kind of know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited. You just get that tattoo this week then. Get it started. I love that for you. You are partnered with USAA. I'm excited to see that tattoo on your body. Official NFL Salute to Service partner. And I would love to know what you're doing with them. And you visited General Mitchell Air National Guard Base. I've never been. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so USAA is a partner of the NFL. Me and Ashton Jeanty, his father, my dad, my father, we were able to travel to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and basically, give a tour of the day in the life of what they go through. But of course, as civilians, we like to recognize and honor them, but it was something special to actually look them in the eyes and address them and tell them how appreciative I am of them.
How did that military upbringing and background shape you into the man you are?
Yeah, so discipline, being detail-oriented, mastering the details of everything, teamwork, resiliency. Those are, a couple qualities that they presented my whole childhood that, reflected me and my siblings as we lived our life. And we always reflected those things. They show what right looks like as parents. And so I'm a reflection of them, as I left their house, in 2021, when I left their house, it was a reflection of, the great parents I had and the many examples, the many traits that they put onto us. And so it correlates definitely with playing football.
The GM, Andrew Berry, president GM of the Browns, said that you could maybe beat Lamar Jackson in a race. Maybe you're faster than him. Now you're competitive. Are you faster than Lamar?
Accurate.
You said what?
Accurate.
You agree? How much? Like you could really? I can't wait to see you in the NFL. I just can't wait. That Giants tattoo is going to look really good. I think it'll be the blue with the logo of the NFL.
Well, I already beat you to it. I have an NFL tattoo that I have placed in my body now. It just embarks the journey, everything that I came with that journey. So I do have something. But then
can I see it?
It's on my stomach. So I don't know if it's appropriate right now. But
what is it? Is it just what is it?
So I have the NFL logo on my stomach. I have a bunch of portraits on my stomach.
Yeah.
It's dead center of my stomach.
When did you get that?
I think like a week and a half ago.
It's fresh. You have a fresh NFL logo tattoo.
Yeah.
Will you get the team logo right away too, you think?
I will.
You do. Have you visualized it? Have you mocked up a couple?
Yeah, I left the place where exactly where I wanted it at. So I got it. I'm gonna get it right below where I got the NFL tattoo.
What logo do you think will look good below that NFL logo?
Yeah, probably the team, but I don't know if I'll do a retro one or one right now. So
thank you for everything that you are doing to promote USAA, of course, a salute to service partner of the NFL, and so much good that they're doing. Thank your parents, enjoy it with your parents, and dap up Roger. Get ready.
All right, thank you. Thank
you so much. Nice to meet you. True pleasure to talk to Jalen Milroe. I would say my favorite parts. I mean, he has an NFL tattoo. I was not ready for that. He's got lots of tattoos. He's got a tattoo, I believe, of Heath Ledger as the Joker wearing a Bama jersey. So I thought I could just have fun with him, but he already is ready. He's excited to be in the NFL. I really appreciated it's never easy to ask someone, what do you think of this negative thing that's said about you? And that with Jalen Milroe is that he's a project quarterback, and he knocked that out of the park. And I liked that he said, I have to earn it. I liked that he said that he would like to be in the Giants locker room with Russell Wilson and or Jameis Winston, and he knows that they're the leaders. He's someone who very much, what I got from him is that he really wants to earn his place. He really straddled the humble and confident line masterfully, perfectly, which is hard to do, and be both of those things at once. So I really appreciated the time with him. I appreciated his candor, and he's very thoughtful about all his answers. And we love USAA, of course, a partner of the NFL that does so much great in the community and for our vets. We will be back with a great draft story. UCLA, what was that like? What was life like? I always walk on UCLA campus. YouTube break. Sorry, guys. I always walk on UCLA campus, Hamilton, and I'm like, who the F? Do they even know that do they think this is a normal life? Do they think And that's what I'm obsessed with, like with Carson too. Carson Schwesinger, who is this walk-on at UCLA, that I'm just like, you just got to live here and do this. Like I would fail out so hard.
Oh, 100%. I could not go to
Actually,
school in a
yeah.
place like that. No chance. I
I would
thought
have
about
dropped
going to
out.
Miami
I would
when I
have
was
dropped
looking at
out.
schools. I was like,
Yeah. I would have dropped out sooner in New York, because I would have just like found myself into some like, bartending like bottle service wormhole where I was like, I'm making enough money to like buy Gushers. I'm good. Whereas like LA, I don't know that I wouldn't have gone, but this cat's got like, a bioengineering degree. He gets his ass kicked by his sister, who's great at football, maybe better than him. We'll ask him. I'm a little bit obsessed with this draft guy.
yeah, it is a great story. Can't wait to dig into it more because he is also just coming off a phenomenal season, finally getting his crack to be a starter and first team All-American and leads the country in tackles. It's incredible.
Yeah. Maniac out there. Some of these highlights.
Oh yeah.
You were sending me. I was like, what the heck? What is going on? Who hurt him?
Around.
He looks like he's having fun when he's doing it. I like
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot to live up to here in a minute, so I hope he's ready. But just the idea,
but it's like
what's the campus that like what is that? What's the most beautiful like whatever campus that people like wouldn't go to school, or like how lucky are they? Santa Barbara, is that one?
I don't know.
Guys, tell us what the school is.
I haven't really visited. Yeah.
UC Santa Barbara. I've never been. I've been to Santa Barbara. I've never been to the campus. But like, are you like distracted at UC Santa Barbara? Probably not. But like, if you're out there in Westwood, you are like 10 minutes from no good in every direction. Like it is. Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. It's like Beverly Hills 90210 is what I feel like that campus is.
Really?
Kind of, yeah. Whenever I go down there, I'm just like, I really am in awe of like, I can't believe that college kids live in these houses, these apartments, like in the middle of LA. It's wild. We lived in cornfields.
It's not exactly sure
I've lived in a 200 square foot East Campus basement with some like guy named Gary. I had to like paid in like quarters and nickels. All right. Welcome back to Up and Adams. Big thanks to Jalen Milroe for joining the show. I believe we'll have a little Jackson Dart action in the next couple of days, but my next guest, so excited. And you've got a lot to live up to, but you've always knocked it out of the park when things are against you or there's adversity. All-American linebacker out of UCLA, a 2024 Butkus Award finalist. Walk on to Butkus Award finalist Carson Schwesinger. Are you the most interesting man in the draft?
We'll see.
I don't even understand your story. I'm smiling because it's so awesome. Like you're a badass, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was definitely a journey to get to this point, but I'm excited.
Yeah, where are you right now? What are you doing?
Right now, I'm in LA.
You're
still
in LA,
working
yeah.
out.
I think you probably heard me talking about just like, I mean, I'm not from LA, but I live here now. Like I would not have survived 4 years. Somehow you miraculously came out on the other end with every NFL team wanting to come to your private workout and the Butkus Award and a bioengineering degree. What made UCLA stand out to you? Like what's the one thing that you'll look back and be like, man, I'm really going to miss this wherever I play in the NFL?
I think for me, it was the football aspect of it. I mean, the camaraderie we had there and everything with that team is something that I even going back to a couple of practices the other day to just see some of the old teammates is special. So I think that's what I'll miss most taking this next step.
Not the nice weather, not Fat Sal's, not the beach.
Well, I did grow up here, so I'm a little used to it. I grew up probably 3 minutes. Yeah.
Must be nice. We'll get there. You have like the Thor hair. It's like, you're like an unbelievable specimen. Okay. Last season, you're unreal. You lead the country in solo tackles. You were first team All-American. You played fewer games than a lot of the competition. Was there a certain moment, maybe a play or even a practice where you sort of knew that this was your year?
I think, when I got my first chance to start going into LSU, I was ready for the opportunity. I think my whole time working, waiting for an opportunity, I knew I was going to be prepared for it. So once I was given it, I knew that I was going to be able to take it and run away with it.
You had more tackles in your game against Washington. You had 17. What happened? What did Washington do to you? 17? That's more than either of your first 2 seasons at UCLA.
Yeah. As a linebacker, if you run to the ball, you're going to end up getting tackled. So that one was just a whole lot of running to the ball.
Okay. You had 4 sacks on the year as well. You're not just, doing that. Take me through, if you would, please, one of these. What happened on 4th down against Nebraska? And what happened with number 23 here?
We call a nice blitz where in this case I'm man on the back and he starts to block, which means I can go trigger, and the only way to get to the quarterback in this case was run through him, and so that's what ended up happening.
You're just a football guy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, you finished that game with 13 tackles. You had a sack. You had a TFL. You had 2 PBUs. The whole game tells me everything I need to know as an NFL fan. You can stop the run. You can rush the passer. You can cover. You can sideline to sideline it. And I'm trying to understand like how this happened. How were you so under-recruited in high school where you walk on and then you have obviously the Oaks Christian 30 teams in attendance at your private workout? How did you go overlooked?
Yeah, I think especially my senior year of high school is when COVID happened and California really shut everything down. So I think that could have been part of it for the recruitment aspect. And then, to get to this point, it was really just being willing to do the work that a lot of other people aren't willing to do, and waiting for my opportunity and being prepared for it.
What do you make of private workouts? I know that you had one, but there's like some talk about like now a trend is starting. Why wouldn't you have a private workout? I was thinking about it this morning and I was like, well, it's a lot of pressure on you. And then it's like, is everyone going to show up? You had 30 teams show up. What did that mean to you? And just, can you tell me what that day was like? Was it pressure? Was it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it definitely, felt great to finally get out and work out again. I think for me, it was less of wanting to have a private workout and more just, wanting to be healthy for it, which is why we ended up having it so late. But, for me, I was just excited. I mean, being able to go out there and show what I could do is really what I wanted to do from the start. And so, that it was just exciting for me.
We didn't get to see you run the 40 because of that hamstring. I know you're feeling great now. What would you have run had you run it?
I think I was hoping for in the high 4.4s range, is what we were, the numbers were saying I would have gotten to. So, that would have been great if I was able to do that.
When you're at a private workout and there's like people from 30 NFL teams, can you does every like scout, whatever, do they keep it really close to their vest and like their clipboards? Like can you tell who's extra interested in you? I don't want specifics. Don't do that. But can you kind of tell who's really interested in you?
I think maybe you could tell a little bit, but even with them showing up, I think is at least somewhat of a tell. So, and I guess too during the workout, I was a little bit more focused on what I was doing versus the guys were thinking, but yeah.
But then you have to like talk to all of them, or is there you don't have to like do like a meet and greet, like and like hang out with all of them after?
No, definitely still talk to them and things like that. So I guess you could get a little bit of a tell with that, as who talk to you more as opposed to others. But overall, it was a great experience.
There's a lot to talk to you about. You played multiple positions in high school. You played safety. You played running back. I think I have a highlight of you. I think I do. Take a look at this. Is this you lining up as a tight end here? What memory does this bring up?
This, I remember this one actually. Quarterback was one of my better friends on the team, and we walked up to the coach and said to call this play, and then it ended up working out for us in this one.
I love it. I know that you are friendly with, or you like Luke Kuechly a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He came on my show every week. Like he's a best friend of our show. He's like the actual best. What is it about Luke that you like?
I think it's everything about how he played. I think a lot of times you get the guys who have the mental capacity that he does, and then they can't pair it with the elite athleticism. And then he was able to do that in terms of being prepared with film study, but also go out and be one of the better athletes on the field. And then, the last aspect of it is as a linebacker, he just had a little bit of a screw loose once he stepped on the field, and there wasn't anybody who wasn't willing to go hit or any play he wasn't willing to go make. And I think you combine all three of those and you get a really good linebacker.
What does the screw loose come from? Is it genetic? Is it learned behavior? Where is your loose screw from?
I think for me, it's genetic. I mean, I was getting in trouble as a kid for playing too hard against my older brother when we'd, be playing whatever game we could think of to make up. So that's been a part of whatever I've played since I've been a kid.
We just looked up Luke Kuechly's 40. He ran guess what he ran?
He ran a 4.58.
You know what he ran at his combine? You're a sick pup. You were like a total oh my gosh. How do you know what he ran in the combine?
You don't want to compare yourself to everybody, but you got to compare yourself to the best. But
you would you not only would beat him, Carson, you'd kick his ass. And like, if you run in the 4.4s, like you would smoke him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I can't believe you know his 40 time. That's amazing. Your entire family athletic. You're talking about genetics, like the loose screw, all of that. Your sister Jordan, I hear, played tackle. How did facing her prepare you to face the Christian McCaffreys and Derrick Henrys of the world?
I mean, I don't think I'll be going up against a better back than her. She was their running back. She played defensive end. I remember, when I was talking to agents in the beginning, one of them had played against their son had played against my sister growing up, and he was like, we couldn't find ways to stop her. That was our whole goal. So, it's kind of made the rest of even in college, made it easy. I have yet to find somebody who was up to that caliber.
What was like Thanksgiving like in your backyard in California? Like, you guys just, I mean, the football games must have been iconic.
Yeah, if somebody didn't get hurt or kicked out, we were doing it wrong.
I bet I totally see that. What are you going to do with this bioengineering degree?
I mean, hopefully I could just keep playing football and don't have to think about it too much. But, there's a lot of routes I could take it. It's a newer field. So I always found it interesting to take some of the aspects of it into sports. And
what did you find interesting? You could have literally gotten I don't know, have you heard of poli-sci, underwater basket weaving? What bioengineering is insane.
Yeah. I always grew up, science and math was what I preferred over anything else. And so, that's a nice combo of it all with engineering and biology. And, there's a lot of new technology coming out that, they always mention in healthcare field. And my mind immediately goes to, you bring this to sports and you have a really great product as well. So I think those aspects are pretty interesting.
I would love to know. What I think is really interesting is when I Google your name, so much Commander stuff comes. I mean, every team. I mean, you've talked to the Ravens would be a fun fit. You're so versatile that everybody wants you and you can fit everywhere. But I love the Commanders. I'm in a relationship with the Commanders. What was that meeting like? What have the conversations been with Washington?
Conversations with every team have been great. It's exciting. I think my old linebacker coach for 2 of the years I was at UCLA is in Washington, so have a connection there. But all these meetings have been great, and the whole process has been exciting in terms of getting to meet everybody, and also them getting to meet me and get a feel for everything.
I mean, you and Bobby Wagner. That's Luke's favorite player. Kuechly's favorite player is Bobby. You and Bobby would be crazy. I know you're not going to answer that because you're giving Luke Kuechly. You're giving perfect Captain America Marvel answers, and I appreciate that about you. Luke is on the show Monday, I believe. Yeah, producers, yeah. Luke on the show next week. What would you like to ask Luke Kuechly? We'll get you the answer.
Yeah, if I were to sit with him, I'd ask him what he would do for film study every week. That was big for him. So that would always be my first question. And then, after that, I'd probably get into some of the other things about, certain plays or certain things I've watched him do and how he got to that point, or just, what awesome. He'd do for fun too. Cause it seems like all he did was football, but yeah.
What do you do for fun? I have that question for you.
Shoot. I get free time. A lot of time I'll go hang out with my family or some of my friends, or I grew up in LA. So, I like to go to the beach. I like to surf. I'm not that good at it for how I look. I should probably be a little bit better, but, that's always a good time.
Well, at least you're bad at something, and it's surfing, which almost nobody can do. We love that. Give me the best restaurant in LA before we let you go.
Oh, best. This is not going to be a good answer, but my favorite place, especially when I go home, is Domino's.
I'm sorry. We have found a flaw, ladies and gentlemen. Just Domino's Pizza? Is there a Domino's that I don't like? Domino's the chain?
No, you have it right. Yeah, yeah. I grew up having that, and
what's the order? Let's get you a brand deal. What's the order?
that's even worse. It's just cheese pizza.
You get cheese pizza from Domino's, and you only get it when you're in LA. I hate to break this to you. You can get Domino's like literally anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, but the ones when I go home are better. I'm convinced. So
you have like your own Domino's. I like this for you. Let's say you're going to celebrate. You and Norton. You and Ken Norton Jr., who, by the way, is with the Commanders now. Of course, your Bruins coach. You and Ken Norton are just going to celebrate on a random Wednesday, a random thing. Where are you guys going? That's not Domino's. Like an LA restaurant, not one that I can go to in Paducah.
Let's see. Go to Mastro's Steakhouse.
Okay.
There's one on the beach in Malibu.
Yes.
So that one's a pretty good option. I've been there a couple times, and sometimes you get lucky and get a good seat, of the water at sunset. So that's a one. Sorry, another chain.
No, it's good. Do you know who else Ken Norton coached before?
A lot of guys.
Bobby Wagner in Seattle.
Yeah.
I wish you the best of luck. You are so dialed in. I hope you're having fun. And I don't know that you know this, but maybe you do. Like, your story is very inspiring. Your story is very inspiring to be a walk-on. Like, we were eating it up this morning, just learning a little bit more about you. You're very easy to root for, and I really appreciate that. I wish you nothing but success, and I hope you never touch that bioengineering degree.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I hope it was a lot of wasted work and wasted hours. And I hope you cheated, honestly. I can't believe that you would do that earnestly. We'll be back after this on Up and Adams. He is a Luke Kuechly, Joe Burrow hybrid.
We missed Luke in this league. We needed another one, and we got him.
No, he is a Luke Kuechly. And he's Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's what I got out of that. And delightful football guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Football
Locked
guy.
in.
Domino's is hilarious. And by the way, not knocking it. The funny thing is that he only gets it when he's like, trust me. Oh, what?
So we got a report that apparently his dad owns a bunch of Domino's in that area. So that's why they're better than
So he's pushing the wait, get out of, you're lying.
That's what it has been passed along to us. Yeah.
So he's a fan. This is like a force. This is like a welcome to the NFL. Here come the Schwesingers from Jordan.
He's ride or die for his family.
I said, what do you do for fun? He hangs with his family. Like, they're about to bring it to I love this for everyone. That's hilarious that they own Domino's.
It really is.
And by the way, I don't hate that. But the fact that he said that it tastes better.
No. That's what he was a ride or die for his family. We love it.
I love that Derek knew that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And that Ken Norton Jr. connection is interesting.
His face was breaking up during that. What was his face when I kept doing the Commanders?
I don't think it changed very much.
Yeah.
He was, But that is interesting.
But the fact that there's a lot of, I'm sorry, why would you ever know another man's combine run score? What kind of
Off the top of his head.
sick pup NFL obsessed football guy. I would draft him on that alone. You can just, and not even
Off
that,
the
but that he
dome can
comps
rattle that
himself
off.
to him, wants to be like him, but can run a second faster than him or whatever he was saying. A tenth of a second, whatever. I literally couldn't do the math on that. What's the math on that?
Yeah, a tenth of a second faster.
A tenth of a second. It's like nothing.
Which is significant. Like, yeah. That's like,
You should
right.
have seen me. Go ahead.
I believe him, by the way, that he could run in the 4.4s when you watch him flying around. Like, that's, and that's like running back speed. It's unreal.
You think they cater Domino's to the private workout? They better have. Oh my gosh, they better have. Oh, sorry. What was happening?
They had to have catered it.
One thing. Should you be allowed to go to a 10-win team like the Steelers?
There's some other franchises that make that mistake and let me go there.
Yeah, I'd be a great best friend. I'm always the quarterback's, best friend. So, whoever gets me, they're gonna love me.
You've been at lots of meetings. You said you met lots of people. You're embracing it.
It's crazy you saying that because, literally when we get off this car, I gotta go to get on the flight and go on another visit. It's wild.
We have this great photo of you.
You think I look clean?
I think you look clean. Like your face just lit up.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, that's Jerry Jones. He kind of legendary.
I want you to go to the Commanders. You'd be very fun in that offense, my friend.
I will be. I feel like it's a great offense.
I can't imagine you and Jameis and Russell in the quarterback room.
Hey, look, that would be the funniest room in the NFL.
When are we? Ooh, Up and Adams at the draft. Some of those names, all smiles on draft night. We will be there, of course, for shows on FanDuel TV, FanDuel Sports Network, on YouTube. Of course, we'll get some clips out there on Twitter. Follow us all over the place. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hopefully, we will have a couple more highly drafted picks and a couple more of these other great stories that are truly, they are inspiring. I didn't mean to get schmoopy there at the end with Carson, but this is like such a fun time of year where we watch people's dreams come true. And cheer them on. I love that about it. So I don't know which guests we're going to have. I don't want to know, Matthew. Do not tell me which guests we're going to have in Green Bay. Give me one. Give me one guest. When is Jackson Dart appearing on our program, Matthew?
He will appear tomorrow on the program.
Okay. He's on the program tomorrow.
So you want one?
Yeah. Give me somebody from Thursday, Friday.
We just got another exciting one this morning. Will Campbell, who at tackle from LSU, projected to go number 4 overall to the Patriots right now. He's going to be joining us Thursday morning.
Okay. I love that. Are any Packers coming to hang out?
We are working on it. Not yet.
Xavier McKinney. I know I have it on great authority, as I got a flyer for a party, that you are in Green Bay, Xavier McKinney, and I would like, as part of our brokerage deal of you coming to Green Bay, I believe you need to come be on the show live. So from Kay Adams to Xavier McKinney, this is an invite / threat to appear on the program from Green Bay. Appreciate it. I will give you can I show, how much time do we have? Okay. I have to show you something really great. Hold on.
We love a nice healthy threat to get guests to come on.
I know it's going to be backwards. Look at this, Matthew.
Oh my goodness.
The Oval Office, an institution in the Midwest. My nephews, look away. Look away, my nephews that live in Appleton.
Oh,
yeah, the old Gentlemen's Club. Look, it says on it, Green Bay Gentlemen's Club. Do I wear this to the draft?
I think you have to at this point.
And it's pink and obnoxious. It's all the things. It's all the best things. So we'll do that.
It really is.
And we're excited to go to Cheesecake Heaven. We need recommendations. Everybody. Let us know where to go and who you want to get onto the show. All right, Ham, we've got to do a one thing about cue that. There it goes. One thing about tight end Colston Loveland. Okay, there's a lot of fun prospects, a lot of smiles, a lot of jokes, but this might be the most fun prospect in the entire draft, okay? I'm not talking about his ability to run routes like a wide receiver or the way he can go up and make these leaping grabs between 3 defenders, look at these, okay? He stiff arms people into the dirt. He's got yak potential. what about the fact that he can do all of the above and then he freaking lets you know? And nothing is better than that. There's nothing better than that. He's a personality, okay? I'm talking like Jeremy Shockey vibes. He's talking trash. He's in the post-game interviews chirping. He's celebrating his face off. There's an electricity, there's a juice, there's a confidence out there that is very attractive to see on an NFL field. I cannot wait to see it. And he's infectious. It kind of gets everybody else going. There's a little Kittle mixed in there, like a Shockey Kittle 1-2 punch. He missed the combine. Okay. He missed his pro day. He's been recovering from a shoulder surgery. He's still considered a first round lock right now because of rare athleticism. He's explosive from the tight end spot. FanDuel Sportsbook giving him the second best odds to be the top tight end off the board at plus 210. I've seen him go everywhere from 14 to the Colts, 20 to the Broncos. Wouldn't hate that. Go to FanDuel Sportsbook, get your bets in, have some fun for draft night as we root these young men on. 22 to the Chargers. That'd be fun. A little reunion with Harbaugh. Oh, interesting. He is special and he's fun, Matthew. He's fun to, like, he's an agitator in a great way. My sister definitely, Matthew just texted me and said, Oval Office. Larry, why aren't children in school? Aren't children supposed to be in school? Now. Like, how long is this Easter break in 2025 year of our Lord, our brothers and sisters? Let's, okay, yeah, we're getting to Green Bay. Oh yeah, so we will see you guys Thursday. We're gonna have a show tomorrow. Best of. If you want, by the way, if you want get ready for the draft vibe, watch the show tomorrow. We, of course, will be tweeting and doing all sorts of things, but we have to get to Green Bay. You're flying into Appleton, the best airport in the world. I might be too. I have no idea where I'm flying into, but we will see you guys bright and early Thursday from the NFL draft. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. This is going to be the most fun draft ever.
Cheesecake Heaven, call us. Can you be our headquarters? Call us. We'll see you guys on Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow on FanDuel. Bye, guys.